Okay, so part 2 for the oracle card reading. This was the gem oracle card that popped out. Here we have the number 20, which reduces to a 2. We have the symbol for Pisces, okay, water. This is the Savasana. So the asana is the corpse pose, and it's called the Savasana. Okay, and this also goes along with the tarot reading of just being. Okay, the corpse pose is just you're relaxed, you're laying flat on your back, arms spread out, legs spread out, you're just being. Totally relaxed, not twisted into any position, just laying flat on your back, relaxed. That's why it's called the corpse pose. And then we have the, that's the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. And this is also like that ruby color, like the ruby ray of Hanael. And in Hindu folklore, or legend, or whatever you want to call it, the blue lotus, you start off on the path to enlightenment, that first step, finding the path and starting that first step, that is represented by the blue lotus. And then you achieve the white lotus of purity, when you've shed the desires of the flesh and all that, you know, including eating flesh, whatever, and, you know, watching pornography, you know, intoxication. And so purity, represented by the white lotus, is that next step. You're kind of like halfway there. And then enlightenment is represented by a pink lotus. Sometimes it can be like reddish, like a magenta or purple. Okay, so, and that's enlightenment. So, and that's the color of the crown chakra right here, the Sahasrara. And chrysoprase, so chryso means gold and praise means leek, actually, but it looks like the word praise, right? And if you think of leeks, I mean the vegetable leeks, they're green. And chlorophyll vibrates to 528 hertz. So 528 hertz is the love vibration. And that's what chlorophyll vibrates at, is 528. So anything that's green is praise, is praising God. It takes the energy from the sun and vibrates at 528, which is the love vibration, which is praising God. So chrysoprase, golden green, golden praise, golden love. And a 2 here, okay, Pisces, 2. I'm not going to say it. Oh, TF. We'll just say that. So, let's see. Oh, and then on the bottom of the deck was Jade. Okay, here's Venus, heart chakra, so love. Okay, I think this is the seated boat pose. I'm not sure. I'm not going to go too much into this card, but it represents authenticity. And how do we become authentic? By staying in our heart chakra, or anahata. Ana, okay, means God's grace. It means the grace of God. It means grace. So anahata, staying there, allows you to be authentic. And Venus, of course, you know, is the planet of love. So there you go. When I first got this deck, I pulled that card a lot. Actually, like the first 3 times I pulled a card, it was Jade. And so I was wearing was it a jade necklace or a jade ring? So yeah, anything. I don't know if I have something chrysoprase that I can actually wear, but I have a ring with a little piece of jade in it. So, you know, if you have gem oracle cards or a type of crystal or gem pops up into your head, maybe that's the energy that you need to be vibing with. And so, you know, I highly suggest you wear it, you know, or walk around with it, you know, if it's not a piece piece of jewelry. Maybe walk around with it in a little pouch or in your pocket or just in your hand until at least it warms up. And you start radiating, resonating, and vibrating to the energies that the crystal is relaying to you. So, chrysoprase, that is, well, it's karmic. It's an emotional rationalizer. So again, patience, staying heart-centered, being patient. That goes along with the angel reading and the tarot reading. So yeah, well, Jade just popped up right here that I flipped open to. So inner life, reflection, self-discovery, authenticity. Yes, that goes along with the angel card reading and the tarot reading. Stillness and silence. So the hermit. Rediscovering ourselves, and that's perfect for the new year. Time to recover and rediscover the sounds of our soul. Getting in the stillness and silence. Getting in tune and in touch with our authenticity. Reflection. Okay, and that's represented by that red dragon. The reflection of the red dragon. How are we going to be our true authentic selves if we can't look at ourselves, if we can't stand to look at ourselves or our soul and the dark part of our soul, the shadow work, okay? I call that the black mirror, when we have to look into the black mirror, okay? Things may look distorted, it may look scary. And that's why it takes that extra fine tuning in to discover or rediscover that authenticity. So opens your mind. It can be very calming and soothing and rebalancing. It's just like when you're crying or something, you know, you feel like crap. But then afterwards, don't you feel so much better? That's how I feel after I have had a good cry or whatever it is. You always feel so much better after you purge whatever that is. So however you need to do that with crying, some people do kickboxing or what have you, but you may be all sore and sweaty and stinky after, but you feel so much better. You feel renewed, repurposed, rejuvenated. All the wreaths, you have a reason to keep going forth. So we're looking for card 20. So let's see. Okay. Egoless. And this is a very karmic stone, so you reap what you sow. That was part of the tarot reading with the 8 of Wands, the repercussions. So you could be inheriting good karma, you can be inheriting bad karma, and that integrity of integrating that into your life, you know, you just have to accept what you put in is what you're going to get out. And that's what a new year, we can't start anything anew until we balance out all the old. So all the karmic balancing, you know, if it hasn't happened at the end of the year last year or at, you know, during last year, it's happening now. And the real new year is when the flowering quince begins to blossom. And that's when the Chinese celebrate New Year, the Chinese New Year. I believe it's mid-February. But the sign of the true New Year is when the fruitless quince or the flowering or blossoming quince starts to bud and bloom. So a lot of karmic balancing is happening right now. So people who put in good stuff, they're seeing the results of that. People who didn't put in shit, they're not seeing any results. It may seem stagnant. Well, you didn't put anything in, you're not going to, you just like, you know, tax returns, whatever. You didn't pay into the system, you're not going to get anything back. Some people are going to owe spiritual taxes. Some people are going to get a spiritual tax return. So it's being optimistic, fearless, and anxiety-free. So whatever it is, just accept it and let it be. It is what it is, you know. Now start fresh and anew. Integrate and balance. But it comes from self-reflection, and you can't take a good look at yourself if you can't humble yourself. You have to remove all ego, all doubt, all fear. And of course, you know, doubt and fear, that's what the ego is all about. And it can masquerade as overconfident. It's still the same thing as doubt, fear, shame, guilt. So, just want to see if there's anything else that... The emotional rationalizer. So it's important to not let our thoughts or our feelings dictate what we do. And I was watching a great sermon by Joyce Myers on YouTube online, and the title of it was "Be Aggressive." So she made a good point of, you know, when she works out every day, because she's very fit, she likes to keep in shape, keep her mind, body, spirit, everything in shape. And she says, you know, sometimes I don't want to go running or go exercise, but I do it anyway, and I don't let my feelings or my thoughts hinder me and hold me back. So my feelings and my thoughts are saying, no, I don't want to go work out. No, I don't want to go running. But I'll do it anyway, okay? And then she was saying how after she starts doing it, or when she's done doing it, she's glad that she did it, and her feelings and emotions followed her actions. So that's very important, and that's a great lesson in not letting your feelings or emotions dominate you and control what you do. Sometimes you just got to go do the damn thing, and your thoughts and feelings will catch up. Will catch up. Okay, so I think we're going to leave the gem oracles. We're good on that now. I might pull a... Let's see how much time we have. Okay. So, okay, so here we go. Have patience. Patience is coming up everywhere. Archangel Michael, and the tarot read, the patience. So, love is patient and kind, always. And that's card number 17, which is an 8. Okay? The matrix, the 8, the flow, infinity. You are eternal and infinite, just like everything. There's the lotus. So, let's see. Let's just see if there's a certain message that sticks out. With the oracle cards, I like to, since there's usually only one or two of each, sometimes different words will stand out. So it says the first sentence is work towards having patience. Okay? So these virtues don't just come naturally, we have to work on it. So if you're lacking patience with others, which that's probably the one thing that I have to work on the most, which is why I keep getting all these messages. Because I'm pretty good as far as like forgiveness and all this other stuff, but patience, you know, and it will pop up with my son and other people, in my own life when I'm trying to get something to work, you know, so remember to have patience with others. Remember that they are human and different from you. See, that's the biggest thing, is we're us. We're who we are. We're ourselves. But we have to remember that we're unique and different from everything and everyone else. Even though we are one, there is unique aspects to each and everything and each and every person. So we need to know that I'm not you and you're not me, but there's room for everyone and every style and every point of view, okay? You know, even the darkness, they have their right to their freedom of speech and everything too, right? I mean, obviously everyone does what they do. Everyone's going to do what they do, and sometimes we're engaged in light and sometimes we're engaged in the darkness. So, and it says, if the impatience has to do with an outcome, your prayers are answered. So be a little more patient at this time. And that's key too, because that might seem like a just broad, general, generic statement, be a little more patient at this time. But it says be a little more patient. So it's incremental. We don't have to go from being impatient to having absolute patience. Allow yourself that process. Allow yourself to progress. Okay? And then as you go through it, you'll accelerate. But go forth with fortitude. You have to have the courage and know that you can do it. You can do anything. We can do anything. We can be impatient or we can be patient. So be a little more patient at this time. So be patient with gaining more patience. So yeah, and remember that everyone's human and different from you. And even the ones that aren't human, okay? You know, be patient with the weather and whatever. And then the bottom card was 27, which is a 9. So we have 8 and then 9. Spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. And I'm going to share a dream in another video about, I believe, a past life. I've had several past lives in a couple different areas that I have deep connection to, and I haven't even been to these places, but just different things that resonate with me, different things that come to me in my dream. So when Atlantis and Lemuria, when Lemuria was no more, we migrated to different places. Japan was one of the places that I know for sure. Somewhere in South America, and the South American one is the one I'm going to tell you about. A couple, I think 2, maybe 3 nights ago now, is when I had that dream. So spiritual connection. Pay attention to those dreams, those things that you resonate with. If you resonate with Japanese culture, food, clothing, art, you most likely had a past life there. Okay? You get those deja vu feelings with people, places, things. You know, that could be associated with a possible past life in that area. So those the oracle cards. I was gonna do a Ganesha, but I don't want to make this one too long and have the battery cut off and run out on me like it was doing for the tarot reading. So I hope you guys got something out of that. I know I did. And then if you're interested in dreams, dream interpretations, and past life stuff, if you're interested in watching the video where I share that dream and the little trail of breadcrumbs that I went on when I researched this name that came to me in the dream. The name was K'an. It wasn't Khan, it was K''A''N. I remember saying in my dream, K'an, and it was this man that I was in love with. So, past life, twin flame. So, oh, I said the words. Oh my gosh. Okay, so TF. I'm just gonna refer to it as TF. I'm not against it. I'm just trying to focus and let things just be. If it happens, it happens, and if not, all in divine timing. I'm just accepting and surrendering to God's will, because God knows best. God knows when, where, who, and all that. So I have complete and utter trust and faith in God, and so it is. So, blessings and love to you all, and peace be upon you all.